live! Hello, Internet! Welcome! This is the very first episode of Queer Questers, and we got a subscriber before we were even live. So, thank you!
Thanks, Emily.
Salty Queer,
Emily.
you're in the right place.
We definitely didn't set someone up to do that.
So yeah, welcome to Queer Questers. I feel like I have to burp, which is gross. And I just feel like I need to tell people that in case it happens while I'm talking. Welcome to Queer Questers. This is our very first episode. Queer Questers is an all-queer group D&D 5e game. And we just got another subscriber. What is happening? Guys, gay cells. Gay cells.
Like, shout out to Princess Leia's bra. Also
Yeah.
that name.
That's a great name.
That's
Yeah.
a really good
I
name.
said I wasn't gonna open it, but I lied. I have the Twitch open in another window so I can look at the chat.
I got this.
Wow, we're so overwhelmed with this that like. Okay, we need to focus. We got rats, we got money, super exciting. Queer Questers. It's really gay, which apparently everybody is into with the money. And let's just get right into it and introduce the players. I'll start with myself so that they don't have to. I am Alicia. If you've been around the channel, you know that I am a DM on Cold Iron for the Winter Oak group. Wow.
Emily, what do you do over there?
I'm not
Things
winner.
are real dirty in the Winter Oak group, actually, and I feel like it's just gonna transfer over here. Even gayer. And I have been playing 5e for about 4 years. I've been DMing for about a year and a half, and I have a lot of fun with it. And I'm super gay. I'm wearing my gay D&D shirt to celebrate.
Did you get that from Nerdy Kepi by any chance?
I got it from TeePublic. I wanted to get the official D&D one, but I missed it. They closed it.
Yeah,
so I was
I
broke
missed it too.
at the time.
Why?
I mean, Nerdy Kepi also deserves your money. So.
They are very, very
excellent.
good.
Give them your money. I will go and give them money when I have some. I have none. Although now we have subscribers, so maybe that will change. Yeah, so that's me. I identify as queer or bisexual. I really love everyone. I'm into all genders. You're all super hot, is basically how I go through life. It's very difficult to find everyone attractive. Fun fact. It's just always on my mind. So, who wants to introduce themselves next?
I'll do it.
Yeah!
Yeah. Hi, I'm Samara. I'm one of the 2 Americans in this crew. Sorry.
We don't hold
about,
that against
sorry
No.
about everything. I have been playing D&D since I was 13, and I have been playing 5th edition for the past 2-ish years. I've been converted. It's amazing. I grew up on 3.5, which is like reading the dictionary, and 5th ed is wonderful. I identify as queer or bisexual as well. Lots and lots and lots of people are pretty, and it's a problem. That's
It is a problem. I mean, it's not, but it is.
Yeah. And I have 2 cats who you will probably see over the course of these feeds because they like to jump on me.
Come for the gay, stay for the cats.
Accurate. All right, who's next?
I'll go next.
All right.
Yeah. Woo. So my name's Kay. I use they, them pronouns. I'm non-binary, queer. I'd say more that I'm perhaps pansexual or whatever. Like I'm not super picky on gender, or if at all. And I've been playing RPGs on and off for since my mid-teens, and I'm in how many campaigns now? 1, 2, 3, over 5 campaigns. So
Wow, and you're making time for us.
yeah, weekly too. Like, come on.
You're polycampaignerous.
Wow.
Awesome. Next.
Okay,
I can-
I'll.
No, no.
We should have planned this ahead of time.
We could have had an order. Okay, I guess I'll go.
It's all you,
Uh,
girl.
All right. I'm Emily. I have not played D&D for too long, only about a year. But I am a member of Iron and Ice's other campaign that we stream, Cold Iron. I'm on the Progress crew, and I play Anna Sinclair. I am queer, bisexual, sapphic. Call me whatever. Just don't call me late for dinner. Yeah, that's me.
Excellent.
Elliot, do you want to go?
Yeah, okay. I guess so for me. My name's Elliot. I use the pronouns they and them. I have been playing Dungeons and Dragons for about a year and a half with some other really cool people. I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream of Dungeons and Dragons on November, 16th to raise money for Chio. So that's going to be interesting. Although I have been playing role-playing games since Neopets was a thing. But with more developed rules only about a year and a half. I think that was all I was supposed to say, right? My name and my pronouns and what we do. Oh, I'm super gay. Oh my god, I'm so gay. I'm non-binary. I teach people about queer labels for a living, and despite that, I don't really feel like super attached to any of them personally. So I'm pretty much good with whatever. I do like to say gay in the like big cosmic sense. I think because I grew up with like that's gay being an insult, so now I'm just like that's gay culture, everything, like hashtag gay, like. So please know that I say that with tongue firmly in cheek.
I love that has come back as a reclaimed thing. It makes me so happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! All right, and then last but not least, bringing up the rear.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm the other American, so we've bookended this well. I am also sorry for everything. I am.
Don't be sorry for Obama. Obama was pretty.
No,
great.
Obama's great.
That's true. Yeah, Obama was great.
I'm a big fan, but I am still sorry. I am a very tiny queer, very small, and sapphic queer, I guess. And I have never played Dungeons and Dragons before. I have played other role-playing games. I have role-played for like upwards of 10 years, but most of my experience is through LARPing and through homebrew games that use the Apocalypse World system. So I'm excited to play something that uses all of my dice instead of just D6s. Oh, she, her
Yay!
pronouns.
All right. I am going to stop typing over here and focus on what's over here. I'm doing a lot of stuff in this role. I didn't say my pronouns because I was so overwhelmed by all of the excitement happening at the beginning. I use either she, her, or they, them pronouns. Either's good by me.
Oh, I didn't say mine either, and I was the one who suggested we do that. I'm she, her, and an idiot.
Same. To both.
These pronouns are not to be confused with the pronouns that everyone's various characters will have, because we're super gay and we make things complicated like that. Why make things
We're
simple?
like level 10 gay at least.
Oh,
At
for
least.
sure.
At
At
least.
least
At
level
least.
10 gay. By the end of this, does that mean we'll be level 20 gay?
Like
Can this make us
prestige class
gayer?
gay.
Fingers crossed.
Pretty sure that's how it works.
Yeah.
Depends where you put your point.
All
You're
right.
gay mana.
Well then, let's get started on making ourselves gayer. And although I'm sure that the chat is enjoying our random this chatting thing, I think they want to see us play some queer teens with feelings in an adventurers academy. So, without further ado, let's go. We're gonna open our episode in a small clearing just outside of the town of East Hallow at the base of a mountain. Out of nowhere, a minecart comes careening out of the mountains, epically, with glitter and rainbows, I'm sure, coming out of it, and lands. It seems like it's going to be a rough landing, and then it lands just very softly in the middle of the clearing, and someone gets out. Who gets out?
My lovely lady Eleanor, or Nor, attempts to gracefully exit this janky-ass minecart, and she's feeling pretty uncomfortable about that abrupt entrance, but trying not to make it an even bigger scene than it already is. She's kind of subconsciously pulling her hair forward a little bit, like maybe if I can't see them, they won't see me and it'll be fine. And she pulls a little bag out of the weird minecart that she's been riding in for several days, and just kind of goes and stands under one of the shadows of the castle, just a little like, okay, what have I gotten myself into?
Would you like to tell people why you just arrived in the middle of a clearing outside of a small town, epically in a minecart?
Yes. Oh, well, Eleanor would not, but I will. We have put this poor, sweet winter princess into this situation because she has been sent from her tiny farming community so that she can be educated as a cleric. And the only school for miles and miles around, there being no schools actually on the plane where the Feywilds are, they have brought her to this one and charted her off to this one. And all of her family's hopes are set on her to, be greater than the rest of them have been, to really better herself and better the world around her through the magic, through the power of definitely not Jesus. So.
Definitely not Jesus.
The not Jesus.
Of Jonathan
The other
Van Ness.
Jesus.
If there are any D&D nerds, Nor follows a monitor, but it's definitely not Jesus. That's the important thing.
All right. And so you arrived here by way of a letter that instructed you to take this ridiculous journey with a minecart to arrive at the school. Frankie, what did your letter say?
Frankie's letter instructed her to knit a 5-foot long scarf with her worst or deepest fear woven in, put it on, and then it would transport her to where she needed to be.
All right. So, Eleanor, as you are standing there, just totally fine, that didn't happen. Suddenly, out of nowhere, this figure appears. Would you like to describe yourself, Frankie?
Yes. So Frankie is a half-orc. She's a big, beefy babe.
Yes.
She's got, that classic, orc green and very, like Ariana Grande ponytail at all times.
Ooh.
And a fantasy, like, JanSport backpack. And that's just kind of how she shows up. But she's kind of looking around at her neck, and the scarf isn't there anymore. So she's a little worried.
Amazing. So there's the two of you there now. Eleanor, you arrived. No one was there, so you're lucky. No one saw your arrival. And out of nowhere, Frankie appears. And while you're standing there, Nimble, you want to tell us how your letter instructed you to get to the school?
Yeah, sure. So Nimble Gift is lives in an ancient grove near a small village. The small village has tons of passing merchants and adventurers that go through. It's in the far southwest, so getting to the school has been a difficult trek. They didn't receive a letter per se, very much like Frankie. Um, as a kitten, Nimble's a tabaxi. They look like a mackerel tabby, like a little chubby mackerel tabby. They're smaller than most other tabaxi at that age, still taller than most human children. But so as a kitten, um, they found a perfectly round stone, and um, they really focused on it and they loved it. It's their favorite item. They always have it on their person. Um, and a few weeks ago, the the stone started glowing sporadically. It would glow for maybe 5 minutes to an hour at a time. But a few days ago, it began kind of talking to them and encouraging them to travel northeast, wherever that would lead. So they're coming out of whatever foliage that's around and coming upon this giant castle. They didn't really know where they were going to end up, but uh, the stone seems to be telling them that like this is kind of the place.
Right. Excellent. And how do you react to finding these two people standing in this clearing below the castle?
I'm very intrigued. I'm going to try and walk up to them and figure out what's going on with them. Is it similar? Did they find a cool rock like when they were a cat? Like what's happening here?
All right. Well, while you're
Frankie
trying to
kinda-
figure that out, Sahar, how did your letter tell you to get to the school?
Gentle Dragonborn boy Sahar received a letter that instructed him to basically come to East Tallow, but not to take the main road. He understands this well because he lives in a town called Gehent, which is about a 2-day walk from East Tallow. I described it in his backstory as basically like the gas station that you stop at when you're like almost there, but not quite. So it's a very mercantile town, and there is a singular main road that people typically take from Gehent to East Tallow. There are a lot of smaller roads that are less traveled. So he takes his map and he makes a purposeful choice to take every side road and little untrodden path that he can. Sees a lot of cool things that he probably never would have seen if he had taken the main road. A lot of like abandoned cairns and once upon a time like tree lofts and things like that. So it's the kind of journey that he is afraid is going to make him very late. So he starts stressing a lot. But he somehow manages to make it in what feels like exactly the 2 days he allotted himself.
Excellent. All right, and so you also enter into this clearing, rushed, worried, to find these three strangers standing there, leaving us with only one person. Sinesh, how did your letter instruct you?
Sinesh received a letter at her village almost a full month ago, and it told her she had to walk the entire way. And on the way, she needed to find some way to commune with each of the 4 elements by the time she got to her destination. So, over the course of the month, she slept outside in heavy wind to try and commune with the sky. Some nights she built a very large campfire to commune with fire, and some nights she built none. Whenever she found a stream, she would stop and splash around in it a little bit and then sit on the side and try and meditate. She's not particularly good at meditation, but she tried.
Mm-hmm.
And she also collected a couple pretty rocks that she found and thought were really cool. and that was her way of communing with the earth. And so she gets to the clearing, I guess, totally on time. So if you want, I can do a quick physical description.
Yeah, go for it.
Sinesh is 5'10". She looks to be about 13, 14. She's got a shock of white hair. Oops, and I hit my headset. White hair with shaved sides on both sides. So she'll like flip it around, and sometimes it's this way, sometimes it's that way. Relatively dark brown skin. And she is dressed in greens and browns and some reds and some golds. You can't tell quite looking at her whether she's like a druid or a ranger or a monk. She looks like she's dressed for survival, but like really enthusiastically so. Like she's ready to do survival stuff. She has a few distinctive facial tattoos, which is unusual for someone her age, and she has snake bite piercings. She has 2 rings through her lip evenly on the 2 sides.
All right. And so you enter, and you're all standing in the clearing, looking at each other. What do you do?
I say hi.
Hello. I've been wanting to talk to someone. Everyone's been so shy.
Hi.
Where are you from? Who are you? What?
I'm from ARPA. I'm from way to the south. I walked here and it took a really long time. Did you walk here too?
On and off. I did take some naps, and I was able to scrounge a bit and pay for some wagons and stuff, but mostly walked.
Hi, I'm Sinesh, by the way.
I'm Nimble. Nimble Gift.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And Sinesh looks at the other 3. Hi.
Frankie kind of mumbles, hi.
Hi.
Are you all Gromany students?
I guess so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you all walk here too?
Yes.
Mm,
Yes, I did.
I put on a scarf
What?
and then I was here.
That sounds way easier.
I mean, it took a while to make, but
Oh, you made the scarf?
Mhm.
Do you still have it?
no, it's
Oh.
just gone.
Oh.
Uh,
Magic.
I guess.
Ooh.
sorry you lost your scarf.
I can always, make another one.
I'm Sahar, by the way.
Hi, I'm Sinesh.
Frankie or Francine. Frankie.
Nice to meet you. And Sinesh looks at Eleanor. Hi.
Hello. Hi. Everyone.
What's your name?
My family calls me Eleanor, but you could call me Nor.
Nice to meet you, Nor.
So whose minecart is this? Is this usually here?
I suppose that's mine. It kind of arrived one day and they said I should get in and then I kind of ended up here.
It's really cool.
What is it for?
I guess for traveling.
Oh,
I don't know.
is this how we get up the mountain? I mean, do we get up? That is the school, right?
As you're standing there, sizing each other up and figuring out what now, because none of you really expected this to happen, you notice that the only thing in this clearing is a small wooden signpost that says Gromany, Academy of Adventurers, written in very sloppy handwriting with an arrow pointing up the mountain.
Maybe we follow that.
Okay.
I didn't realize there was a school here.
Me? I mean, I did, but I've never seen anyone go there.
My mom and aunt came here when they were younger.
Wow.
Yeah, they're big adventurers now.
Wow. I don't know anyone who's ever been here. I've heard of it, but I'm the first person in the village to go.
Is this a school for adventurers? Oh, I must be in the wrong place. I am not an adventurer of any kind.
You got in a minecart and went through a mountain. That seems adventurous, if I can say so.
Oh, I may need to reconsider some choices I've made.
My mom always said that if you get the letter, you're meant to be an adventurer. You already have what it takes.
What does
You
it
got
take?
the letter. I don't know. But you've got it.
That's true. So we've all got it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
the smallest out of the group?
I'm 5'1".
Okay. So I'm gonna turn to Noel and do you want some help up the mountain? You wanna hop on my back?
I appreciate it, but I think I should be fine. They don't call me nimble for nothing.
Do you all want to walk together? We're all here.
Yeah.
Cool.
So what's this about a letter?
Did you not get a letter?
Oh no, my rock told me to come here.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
Harlick looks around at all the rocks.
No, this one. And I pull out my smooth, tiny rock.
Oh.
Oh,
Glows sometimes, but
Where'd you get that?
I live in this grove, and just there are some rocks around, and this one I found when I was a kitten, and
It's really pretty.
thank you.
I found these, and she takes out the small collection of rocks that she collected on her trip here.
Yes, rocks.
I don't think any of them are magical, but I was supposed to commune with the elements, so this is how I thought best to commune with the earth.
That sounds great. I don't know how magic works, but
Me neither.
maybe we'll find out together.
Should we go? Is there a path? And she's looking
You see
around for a path.
You see a lightly worn path. It doesn't look like people travel it often, but there's a lightly worn path heading up. I should also say it's relatively early in the morning at this point in time. And who wants to make the first roll of the game
I will
and see
happily.
if they know how long it's going to take them to get up the mountain? Go
Oh, yeah.
ahead and roll we'll say a perception check.
I will do it.
All right, go for it,
I think-
Nimble.
Can more than one of us roll? Yeah. Can other folks roll perception
Sure,
too?
every you know what? First roll of the game. Everyone roll perception. So
Let's do it.
that's
Let's
gonna
do
be a D20.
thank
and
you.
Then add your perception modifier.
I got a 13.
I got an 18.
20.
17.
20.
Nice.
Was it a natural 20?
No, with my modifier, it's a 20.
Ah.
Oh no, 18. I'm sorry, 18.
Nice. And what did you get, Nimble?
13.
All right. So everybody looks up, and you can see the castle. It's casting a long shadow, sort of where it's perched on the mountain, but it's also real far up there. And you estimate it's probably going to take you most of the day to make it up to the school.
Guess we better get started then.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
I'll head on towards this little path if no one objects to Sanesh taking the lead.
Nora is
After you-
quietly very grateful that someone else wants to take the lead.
I think Nimble's gonna be skipping right behind. Very, very pumped. Didn't know there was a school year. Didn't. It's just found some friends. It's all good.
Exciting.
And Frankie follows behind, just happy to be following.
All
Sahara
right.
is eternally grateful that someone else is taking the initiative here. Very timid.
All right.
Sounds
so,
like Nor and Zahara kind of hanging out near the back.
so you begin your trek up the mountain. It's very woodsy. Think my reference point is the Canadian Shield. Also, the Black Forest of Germany would be comparable. Sort of feel as you're going up. It doesn't start steep. It's an easy walk, but it gets sort of steeper and steeper. But then there are plateaus. I know nothing about climbing a mountain, but in my mind, this is what climbing a mountain is like. So you head up this path, and there's lots of, woodsy wildlife along the way. Squirrels, birds, maybe a fox runs by. And then you're about a third of the way up the mountain, and blocking the path, you see, they're not even trying to hide, just in full view, 4 goats and 1 giant goat. What do you do?
So goats, like the mammal?
Yes, like the mammal. Goats.
Okay.
Like you would find on a mountain.
That goat's very big.
How big is the goat?
A giant goat.
I just want to know how much taller it is than I am.
Yeah. Is it like a dire goat? Like size large?
Yeah, it's a large beast.
That's amazing.
Oh.
A hefty goat.
So it's like
Yeah.
the size of a brown bear. but
It's a beefy goat.
Big
Beefy
beefy
goat.
goat.
beefy goat. Do they seem like they care that we're walking up?
Make a perception check.
Okay. That's
All of us?
I hope so, because I just rolled an 8.
Those are some goats.
You're not
Those
really
are-
sure. The only
I-
goats,
There are some
the
goats.
only goats
Oh.
you've seen are like regular goats that
Yeah,
people
I've never
raise.
seen a big goat. Nor have I ever seen a mountain goat, I don't think. I've seen like domestic farm goats.
Yeah. So these ones, you can assume most of the goats you've seen are friendly. So these goats
Oh.
must be friendly.
Yeah.
May I roll animal handling?
What are you trying to do?
I'm going. Sahar picks like a fistful of like wild onions and like grass and shit,
Yeah.
and he crouches down like lower because he's 6'3", so he does a moderate crouch, but not a lower than the goat
Yeah.
crouch.
Got it.
And just like very slowly extends his hand.
Yeah, right. Go ahead and roll animal handling.
Holy shit. That is also a 20.
Wow. All right. We want your die.
All right, Zaha.
So,
All right, let's do this.
yeah, you shoot my encounter right down, and
Sorry.
you. No, it's great. I love it. You crouch down,
This is your job, is
And-
to frustrate the DM.
and you hold out the grass that you've picked, and this goat, who, as you've gotten closer, you realize did look fairly aggressive. Like, you don't really realize until it calms down, and it kind of like goes a bit low and walks towards you and nibbles out of your hand.
That's I read this in a book, a tome. If you get on their level, and they'll eat anything, so you just have to make them feel comfortable eating.
As
That's
you're
true.
as
Yeah,
you're
I gotta be
sitting
careful.
there,
It ate one of my cloaks once.
the little goats, the normal-sized goats, also now come up to you, and you are surrounded by goats.
This is not how I expected to spend this day.
They are still, however, blocking the path.
Can I get on one and like ride it?
You can certainly try. Would you like to get on the giant goat or a regular goat?
Giant goat.
All right.
I'm gonna
need
jump.
I'm gonna need you to roll. Okay, so you jump. You can make the jump as a cat. That's fairly simple. Roll a animal handling check to see what happens when you land on the goat.
I have a -1 to animal handling. This is gonna be good. I got an 8.
Okay,
Nice.
so you land on the goat who was peacefully eating and looking Sahar right in the face and suddenly gets those giant cartoon eyes as you hit its back. It bucks you off. Do goats do that? They do now.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then it charges at Sahar.
No,
Why?
Oh no!
I thought I could ride it.
Can I try and catch the goat before it headbutts Sahar?
Ah.
You can
Just like no.
go ahead and make a acrobatics check.
Yeah.
Can
It's gonna
Frankie,
be
like, take-
really difficult.
I'm proficient in that bad boy. That's an 18.
I'm proficient in
Okay, you know what I will let you do? I will let you have sort of distract the goat so that it will not do its full force of a hit on Sahar. But it's still
I'm
gonna
about to get
be
hit by a goat.
potentially a little. Well, potentially. Let's see what happens. Does a 13 hit you, Sahar?
Okay, I'm a noob. How do I find out?
So
if
at
I
the
got-
top of your sheet, there will be a AC. It'll say armor class somewhere.
Yes, it hits me by 1.
All right. Yeah. So if it's equal to or exceeds, then it's a hit. So you will take a bit of damage, but we're gonna half it because of
I'm
Sinesh's
hugging that goat.
quick thinking.
Hugging the goat. This is an auspicious start.
How much damage does it do? Give me those 2 die. 4, 5, 6, 7. So half would be 3 points of bludgeoning damage as the goat kind of knocks you out of the way.
I imagine like this tiny, like, no, he's not tiny. He's actually quite tall. This like gangly Cillian Murphy looking ass, like dragon boy with crazy hair, like just takes it straight onto the noggin and just like falls on his back like, oh, this is bad. I have had a bad day. I have been hit.
Noor, who was initially very overwhelmed by several things happening at once. Several things happening at once? What's with that? But now that things have happened and she has sort of collected herself, I am gonna cast Speak with Animals.
All right. Go for it. You cast that Speak with Animals.
I cast that Speak with Animals.
All right.
I'm just
I'm
gonna
still
roll.
hugging that goat.
That's okay. That's cool. I support that.
I'm gonna go up to Sahar while you cast, and I'm just gonna be like, I am so sorry.
It's okay. Oh, it's okay.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I was looking at my sheet thing and trying to be like, I was like clicking on the cast button and I was like, are you gonna do a thing? But it doesn't look like it's gonna do a thing. It's fine.
I think
I
that
don't
you
think
just
you have to roll for.
No,
Speak
I
with
think you
Animals.
just cast Speak with Animals. My internet is being dumb. So
And
I
then you
can't-
have a chitty chat.
Yeah. So then you just have a chat. There's no roll.
Okay. So Noor looks at the goat, and she also she kind of looks at Sahar and kneels down a little bit to sort of get on the goat's level. And she looks at the goat, and she tries to make herself look as small and not threatening as possible. And she whatever speaking with animals looks like, she says to the goat, friends, not hurt, not.
This my mountain, says goat.
Very, very, very nice mountain. Very nice mountain that you have. We respect your mountain. Your mountain. Very nice mountain.
Why you on mountain?
He wants to know why we're here. could you show us the way to the castle?
Does the goat seem calm enough now that I can let it go?
Make a perception check.
Because I'm still hugging this goat.
Just hugging the goat. Maybe the goat likes the hug.
That's not good at all. That's a 5.
You have no idea.
Okay.
You have no idea.
Well then, I'm gonna. Can I let it go now?
Can you?
Nor?
Will you hurt my friend?
More. Ow.
Nora doesn't laugh. Nora doesn't laugh.
Goat want food.
He said that he's hungry. Maybe if we feed him more, he won't hurt. Did you like what you had before? And she kind of like gestures vaguely to the like desiccated pile of grass that Zahar has presumably dropped after being tackled.
Acceptable.
Okay, he likes the grass. The grass is okay. She looks around for someone who is less intimidated than her. Does someone want, would someone maybe...
Sahar points at like all of the wild onions that he goes, please pick more of those onions. They're onions. Just feed them onions.
Frankie goes and tries to find the nearest of the wild onions to feed to the goat.
Thank you, Frankie.
Yeah, they're around. It's easy enough to find some, so you can just find some.
Okay, cool. And so I kind of approach slowly, but firmly and confidently, and offer the wild onions to the goat.
I'm just waiting for the signal to not be hugging this goat.
Please keep hugging the goat.
Okay, so yeah, you find the stuff. The goat is just standing there looking unhappy. It kind of like shakes a little bit, you know, to try and like make Senish get off.
Nope. Not until we're cool.
Aww.
Frankie's just like standing there holding out the wild onions like, yes? Eat?
The goat kind of like takes a few steps. It's like side-eyeing all of you. And then like nibbles a little from your hand.
Now I will release the goat.
Alright. So you...
And we've been talking about the dire goat this whole time, right? The big one?
The giant goat, yes.
Okay, just making
Yeah.
sure.
The other 4 goats are not paying any attention. They're like grazing around.
They're being goats.
Yeah,
Doing goat things.
doing goat things.
You know, goats being goats.
Why you on mountain? The goat is saying to Nor.
They told us to go up. And she looks up at the castle that I presume is looming over them dramatically.
Stinky humans always make other humans come here. Every year! Every year! This my mountain.
And it's a very nice mountain. It's a very nice mountain. Could we have your permission to visit the mountain?
You can go up mountain, but you do not come back.
Goat pronouns, question mark.
Hey goat, what are your pronouns?
Hey goat, what pronouns can I use to refer to you in this context? Anyway, okay, never mind. It's fine. Not gonna go down that rabbit hole. Nora turns around and says, "The goat is okay with us going, as long as we do not come back here."
That's very generous of the goat.
Also, I think he's a little bit racist.
Why?
Huh?
he said something about humans. I'm not really sure. Luckily there are no humans here. So maybe it's okay. I don't know. Maybe we should just go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's keep going up this way. Let's go. Okay.
Having fully milked his injury for attention, Sahar gets up.
Well, Sinesh
All right.
goes back to leading the way,
So-
kind of sidling past big goat.
And the
And
goat
then-
is like side-eyeing you as you walk
Well,
by.
I
It's got some
side-eye-
onions sticking out of its mouth, like,
You know what? Making eye contact with the goat, I grab an onion, like I pick one out of the ground, and I start chewing on it too. And I keep going on my merry way. I'll go head to head with a goat. I don't care.
Nora is very intimidated by Sinesh. And not in a cute lesbian way, just in the like super intimidated.
Sometimes you gotta hug a goat, okay?
all
Easy.
right. So you make your way past the goats, relatively unharmed, pride and maybe some bruising aside, and you continue to head up the mountain. Does anyone want to like chat along the way?
Well, Nimble is very dejected that their plan to ride the goat didn't work out, and it resulted in someone getting hurt. As little as that may have been, but Nimble's like has their paws in their like pockets, and they're just like trudging along.
Sahar will, at some point in this walk, kind of like sidle over and be like, I thought it was really cool that you tried to ride a goat.
Thank you. I thought it was cool too, but I don't know why it didn't work.
Really big goat.
Yeah.
So really, that goat was like, it was taller than me. So it was a good try.
Thank you.
I didn't know goats that big existed. Is it like the king of the mountain? Like the goat king? Do mountains have kings?
Do goats
Do
have
goats
kings?
have kings?
I wouldn't have thought so. Most of them eat garbage.
What's a king to a goat?
What's a goat to a non-believer?
That's the title of the episode right now. Do goats have kings? All right. Yeah. So at this point in time, you get past the goats. You walk a little bit. It's about lunchtime now, midday. It's, you feel like it should be a lot warmer than it is, but as you've trudged up the mountain, it's got a bit cooler. It is autumn, start of the school year, but it's still it's cooler than you would expect. Of course, you're going up a mountain, so.
Can Frankie have pulled out her knitting needles and like start going as she's walking?
Of course, sure.
Okay. Okay, she's working on something there.
Is it cold-ish for Nimble considering they have a full fur coat?
I would say that you know that it's cooler, but you don't necessarily feel cold. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
May I ask if my rations can include like dried crickets and mealworms and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Sahar breaks into those bad boys and is just cromshing away.
So you guys are gonna keep walking, just you're not gonna stop for lunch or anything, just keep heading right up that mountain.
I was gonna offer if we wanted to stop for lunch, because I have cook's utensils. So
Oh.
once it seems like everyone is sort of actively looking around, feeling kind of hungry, and or looking at Sahar like, all right, it's like, is anyone hungry? Should we stop for lunch?
Mm-hmm.
I could eat.
I have some stuff we can cook. If we want to make a fire. Or can we make a fire on the mountain? Will the goats get mad?
Will they?
I sort of look around for goats.
Okay, roll for
Goat
goats.
perimeter check.
Yeah, roll a
Just
perception.
a-
Go ahead, roll
Roll
perception
for goat
check.
check.
Roll for goats.
A goat,
Roll
a
for
goat
goat
check.
checks.
That's not good.
Oh my gosh, Samara.
That's an 11.
Well, you don't see any goats.
Like, okay.
I rolled a 16.
You also,
Yeah, I gotta.
you also don't see any goats.
Oh
that's-
no.
That's much more reassuring.
I rolled
Maybe
19.
they're just really ninja goats.
Yeah, no, you all, Sahar now finally attuned to the goats. Also senses no goats.
Having been so intimate with goats lately.
You are the goat whisperer.
We're good. We're fine.
Okay. Well,
Do you want?
hopefully
Do you want?
nobody... Yeah. So she'll try cricket.
It tastes like tea leaves, but drier.
Oh, that's pretty nice. Did
My-
you make these yourself?
Mm-hmm.
They're really good. Nimble, let's try
Mhm.
one.
Okay. So Nimble, we'll grab one. And like does a cursory lick, and because cats have barbed tongues, it just like comes apart and
Do you do the...
yeah. It's like peanut butter on the top of a dog's mouth. I'm like trying to get out.
Well,
Amazing.
Senesh will set about making a little fire and pulling out some cooking utensils and really quickly whip up some food.
All right.
I'm suddenly panicking, like, what food?
Out of food. What is
I'll make like a scrambled eggy thing
Okay.
with some of those onions and whatnot.
Sounds
Like
good.
Protein.
A scramble
A scramble. Yes, and scramble.
and singular scramble.
All right, so you put together a fairly nice scramble with what you can find and presumably something to scramble them with. Eggs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had them in my pocket.
Yeah, the egg pocket. you
It's
know.
fine. It's the egg pocket.
pretty bags?
I have rations. It's up to me to decide what they are. They're eggs.
This is my egg pocket.
Yeah, so you make a scramble, everybody can sit down, have some lunch, take a little break, which also seems like a good time for us to take a little break.
I have to pee so badly.
So even though we're only going to be going for 2 hours, just to keep everybody, hydrated, urinated, all of that stuff, we're taking a gay break. Because everything we
Gay
do
break.
on the
A big,
show
gay
is
break.
gay. So it'll be 10 minutes, so we will be back at 9:05, and we will continue this trek up the mountain. All right, so thanks everyone. Stay tuned. We'll be back, and we're so glad to have you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we're back. And despite my best efforts, everyone is in the wrong spot. So I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix that while everyone role plays lunch.
Yeah.
All right.
Role playing lunch.
Or walking, whichever you would rather do.
We're lunching. It's okay. I'll say I've never been this far away from home before.
Sorry about that. A cat just did something dumb.
As cats are oft to do, let's be honest.
Cats do that. So yeah. Senesh says I've never been this far away from home before.
I mean, I've only gone to visit my my mom's tribe. I haven't really gone anywhere else.
Which tribe?
The Rinvoke.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have some in our tribe who moved from there,
Oh, really?
who came down to
I-
us. Yeah.
I don't see them very often, only a couple times a year, but
Well, when we go home, you should come with me.
oh, I don't know. I don't really do a lot of the orc stuff.
That's okay. I don't think anyone would mind.
Thank you.
Uh,
I'll think about it.
Okay.
Nor is low key too anxious to take food without prompting. So she's just sitting like a little bit back from everyone else, just sort of like looking around and like absentmindedly chewing on an onion.
I think Nimble has eaten real quick.
Intermittent
And
intervals. Sahar's just like,
Okay, so Nimble, you've eaten real quick, and what else?
Nimble's eaten very quick and is just kind of like looking at the foliage, like looking to see if they can see where the animals were, kind of like low key hunting, but like paying attention a little bit.
Cool. All right, I have moved the names around, so if you would like to stop role-playing lunch, we can do that.
Okay.
And walk up the mountain, if you would like to walk up the mountain. Or down, if you want to go see the goats again.
No, we were told not to go back.
never again the goats.
Hey,
Gotta visit the Mountain King.
I burned a spell slot for you people. We are not going back.
We're not undoing all of North's work.
Oh, I will say this was a short rest, the lunch.
Thanks.
So,
I
If
still
you
think
want-
I get a spell slot
no,
back
you're
after.
not on a short rest. But for anyone who took a tiny bit of bruise damage to their ego
Cough, cough.
and otherwise
that up if
could
you
spend a hit die if they would like to regain their 3 hit points.
Do you maybe want to walk the chat through how you roll a hit die?
Yeah.
to
Yeah, let's
hang
do
out?
it. So, we're using D&D Beyond. I'm trying to use a D&D Beyond. It's not working. Which is admittedly somewhat new to me as well. There we go.
Well, at the top, it says short rest.
Yeah.
So you want to click that.
Ooh.
And then I think it should give you an option for your hit die when you do that. Does it do that? Yeah.
And it tells you what you need to roll and how much health you can get back. And then you do the thing.
Dang.
And then when you're ready to add your die roll, because you're going to roll your die in real life, you just type the number into the little box beside your hit points and then hit heal.
Yeah. 1d6 plus 1. That's 5. I don't have.
You don't need that many. So you get to heal up to max.
My bruises. They're better.
Hooray! Yeah, so then if you just put 3 in the box, it will.
Do lizards bruise? Have a physiology question for Dragonborn.
I know that our snake has bruised when she got stuck in a deer's hip bone, so I'm going to go with yes.
Fair enough.
It's a long story.
What? Is this an America thing?
Oh yeah, snakes only bruise in America. It's wild.
It's true.
That's how snakes work.
Yeah.
Snakes work, yeah.
Yeah, here in Canada we have much tougher snakes, I guess.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with yes. He bruises.
Fair enough.
All right. So you've taken a rest. Sahar's feeling a little bit better with the rest and the lunch. And yeah, now you can pack up your lunch. You can continue. You still got about half a day's travel up the mountain. It's getting, again, a little bit colder, like we said, a little bit steeper. Still that same, not really their path, but that's kind of there. And I mean, it's hard to miss the school. If you look up, you can see it up there, so.
We know we're going in vaguely the right direction.
Yeah, so you walk, and you walk. Nimble, you see various squirrels and small things that maybe catch your eye, your little hunting eye there. Does anyone have anything they want to do?
Heavily forested, or are there any points where there's enough of a break to like see the view? Because I assume if we're going up a mountain, it's probably super pretty.
Oh yeah, there's probably a couple of spots. We'll say there's a couple of spots that sort of clear out and make a nice cliff, and you can go out and get a beautiful panoramic view.
Sinesh thinks that is the coolest shit she has ever fucking seen. Like, the first time they get to one of those clearings, she stops dead and is just like...
Exciting.
Keep going. Then we can keep going.
It's free of goats as you continue up the mountain. I'm sure that some of you are like checking behind you as you go for those pesky goats, but they're not following you. There's none ahead of you. You continue goat free.
Is Nimble directly in front of me? What order are we in?
What order are you in? You tell me.
I think I'm at the front, and Nimble was second.
I was. I feel like I sometimes like rush into the brush and like sort of chasing a squirrel or something, and then I'll come back like leisurely, and then something else will catch my eye and I have to go check it out. So
do you catch anything, or do you just let it go?
Oh, you play with your food, so of course.
Every time you do that, like every time you're playing with your food, Sahara's just like he tries to be subtle, but he's not.
Nora is walking slow enough, and every time that Nimble sort of trots off into the brush, she kind of slows down, like casually, to make sure that the group doesn't like outpace the cat, but does not like say, or not like super obtrusively, but just sort of like keeping an eye on everyone, like, okay, yeah, okay, hold on, somebody's dinner. Okay.
That's so sweet.
I think Frankie's either fallen behind Nor or Sahar, whoever volunteers, and has wrapped the in-progress scarf that she's knitting around one of them and is just following behind, like, as it gets longer and longer.
Okay, so who is the recipient then of this scarf knitting?
Well, I don't know who would. Yeah, would it be Sahar?
Yeah, Sahar would totally be like, okay, if that helps.
I mean, Nor is also made of ice, so it would kind of make sense that you'd be like, honey, let me.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Right. Nor's an Eladrin, right?
She is.
Right.
Okay, that makes more
Nor
sense.
is an Eladrin in the wonderful season of winter.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
All
more
right,
sense.
so Frankie's behind Nor, just knitting away.
Amazing.
Yeah, Frankie's taking up the rear and not really watching more knitting.
Yeah.
All right. What is everyone's passive perception? That will be on
my
the
least favorite question.
That will be on the left-hand side of your sheet, underneath your saving throws. It'll have some passive stats.
13.
12.
13.
11.
13 for me as well.
All right. So unfortunately, you're all having such a great time bonding and knitting and looking for food that none of you hear or notice the commotion that's happening ahead of you until you stumble on it. And you discover a little standoff happening between some goblins and some kobolds. These, by the way, are from the Deck of Many. They sponsor our channel. They're fun, like monster cards. They have all the
I'm
stats.
jealous.
So that
cool.
I don't have to go digging through my books. And most of the art is made by my co-DM on Cold Iron. Mr. Jordan Riche makes the art for these. That's why I have them. Yeah. So you see, by the time you get on top of them, because you were all so busy becoming fast friends, 2 goblins, and behind them, a tied-up kobold. And then 3 kobolds with little, like, spears, like, kind of threatening these goblins. And the goblins are speaking in Goblin, and the kobolds are speaking in Draconic, and it's very clear that no one is actually talking to each other. What do you do?
Can I understand what you said the goblins are speaking Draconic?
No, the goblins are speaking Goblin, and the kobolds are speaking Draconic.
Can I understand it?
Yeah, you speak Draconic. Yes, you're Dragonborn, you speak
Yes.
Draconic. Yeah, so the kobolds are, like, in a panic, and they're like, give us our friend back! Give us our friend back! And they're just, like, threatening and just repeating, give us our friend back.
I guess context clues probably gave this away already, but they want their friend back.
Does Zahar say that to us, or sort of to like
That's to
everyone?
all of you. That's like to the small group.
Mhm. Do they seem to have noticed or care about our impending presence, or are they too involved in their argument?
That's an excellent question. Let's find out. No, they do not notice you at all. They are very involved in their own, but again, blocking this kind of limited path that you are on.
Question about our world.
Mm-hmm.
How common are goblins and kobolds? Like, are they known to be nuisances? Are they very dangerous? Or are they just around?
Yeah, so you would know goblins are pretty annoying. Certainly there are, of course, good goblins. We're not here to, like, write off an entire race. But,
What was that about racist characters?
Not here to goblin shame.
but they can be pretty frustrating little creatures. Kobolds you would see a lot, because this world actually is just, like, lousy with dragons. Just dragons everywhere. Dragon-blooded creatures, just, you know, blink and you miss it dragons. So, kobolds are around the world in kind of all situations. They're not just monsters, they, you know, participate in society, things like that.
Okay.
What do we want to do?
Ooh, we should help them get their friend back.
Mm,
I don't know if that's such a good idea. We should really mind our father should mind our business. And I clearly this is a very contentious situation.
But they got the little one tied up.
I could, if you want, if you. Normally, I wouldn't interject. That would be rude. But we could ask why they have the kobold tied up.
Yeah.
But I don't speak whatever the goblins are speaking, so I don't. It's one-sided.
Yeah, they don't seem to be talking to each other. They're kind of just yelling. Can anyone speak goblin?
Maybe they could speak common.
Maybe.
Does one of you want to try talking to the goblins, and I can try to talk to the kobolds?
Sure.
Can try. Excuse me, goblins?
One goblin, like, turns around at you, dagger in hand, but doesn't say anything, just looks at you.
Hi, do you speak common?
Yeah, I understand you.
Okay, cool. Why you got why is he tied up?
He stole from us.
What'd he steal?
Our stuff.
Stuff.
Our stuff. Doesn't matter what stuff, he stole it.
Was it food?
No, it was our stuff, right from our pockets.
Oh, that wasn't very nice.
No, and now he has to pay.
Oh, well, maybe we don't have to go that far. Sahar?
Yeah.
Yeah, can
Thanks, Zahar.
just stole stuff.
Do you mind if I talk to him? And he's talking to the goblin, the same one that Frankie's talking to. Do you mind if I try and ask him where this stuff is?
Oh, you can try, but I don't think he'll tell you.
Well, there is one way to find out. He kind of like gets a little bit closer without like making the goblins like, "Rrr." And he's like, hi, my name is Sahar, and these fine goblins here said that you've taken something from them. Is that true?
Yeah, I took what was mine. I should do a
What do you
different
mean?
voice. Well, they stole from me first.
This conversation is happening in.
This one is
Cobalt?
happening in Draconic. Yeah.
Draconic. Okay, so we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, not yet.
Sorry. What did they steal from you?
They stole my money.
And you stole your money back?
Yes. I need it for my family.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, of course. He looks back over his shoulder at Frankie and everyone else, and he looks back to the kobold and he says, "Excuse me, 1 second." Goes back. He says that the goblin stole his money first. This is a stalemate of sorts.
Oh.
How much money?
Enough that it supports his family.
Oh dear.
Your family. Shit. I don't. Thoughts?
Well, what does the goblin say to that?
Hey, Goblin. Goblin?
Yeah?
They said you stole from them first.
Yeah?
Well, but
Well, did
so
you?
why are you? Yeah.
Well, I took it and now it's mine. Wow, this goblin turned southern all of a sudden? I don't know what happened there.
Now's mine.
Well, it sounds to me at least that it wasn't yours to begin with, and it's back with its rightful owner.
Well, I took it, so I'm its rightful owner.
That's not how that works.
Well, by that logic, they took it. Now they're the rightful owner.
Roll a persuasion check on that.
Ooh.
I'm gonna use a different D20 because this one's been giving me.
I don't know who Nora's closest to, but she sort of like leans over and under her breath, she's like, "Isn't there a magistrate who can deal with this sort of thing?"
I rolled a natural 1.
Well, shit.
So the goblin looks real confused for a second. You know the like math meme?
Algebra.
No, that doesn't check out. No, doesn't check out.
How much money did they steal from you?
Oh, I don't know, like 3 or 4 gold pieces.
Goblin
That-
lying
that-
about that?
That sounds like a lot of money. I'm not sir, are you certain of that figure, sir?
Or was it 3 or 4 shiny coins?
Are you accusing me of being a liar? I'm not the criminal here. That guy's the criminal.
But you were
But
the
you said
criminal
you
the
did it
first time.
first.
That's not the point.
I
As
think it is.
as a training cleric of a monitor, I suppose it's my responsibility to adjudicate.
Yeah.
Adjudicate
Frankie.
how?
Nora turns around and she like opens her bag and she starts like digging through for like one of her law books that I am certain that she has as part of
All right.
service to a monitor.
Clerical inventory.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
almost certain that's gonna be in my inventory.
Yeah, sure. So you
Sure.
do that, and the 2 goblins like turn and they're looking at you.
So Nora kind of realizes while she's like rifling through her bag that it's very unlikely that the goblins are going to be able to read in her book language because most of her books are in Elvish. So she eventually decides, she pulls out a book. It's not a law book, it's a history book, but they don't know that. And she opens it. She stands up and she sort of does like a over her bag. She's like, and she stands up and she says, "Which district are we in?"
Can I hand
Goblins
them
like
map?
look at each other. What was that?
Can I do I have a map? Let me see.
You said you did.
I had a map in the beginning. Unless I shat that map away, I think I've still got it. Can I hand Eleanor my map?
Sure.
Just be
You
like,
can
here.
hand Eleanor them. You guys are gonna make me come up with a district name, aren't you?
Yep.
So Nor accepts the map and sort of gives Zahar
Oh,
this
Norse.
like,
Shit, sorry.
gives Zahar, that's okay. Eleanor's totally fine. Gives Zahar this like sort of like look and like takes the map and is like, okay, so we're very clearly in district.
To get them back to their like vague location.
Yeah, okay, so you are just making this up. So you
Yes.
are in,
Thank you for noticing.
you are in, you decide you're in District 7.
Which just okay. What do they make in District 7?
I don't remember. I didn't actually realize until it came out of my mouth that I was inadvertently making a Hunger Games reference. Chat!
Back me up. What
Somebody
what
in the chat.
comes out of District 7?
Somebody tell us.
I want to lean into this reference, chat.
It's
Come
not.
on.
It's not agriculture and it's not gold. I
I'm
know.
looking it up.
Wait, is 7
Quick, do
where
a
Rue was
Google.
from?
Pause the stream. We must.
All right. Not the
Are we
point.
bad gays for not knowing this? I don't know.
I have never done a Hunger Games
Lumber,
in my life.
lumber and
Not a
paper.
single Hunger.
Lumber and paper.
Lumber and
Lumber
paper.
and paper.
All right.
And people who live here are good with axes.
Well, shit. Now I have to figure out how to make lumber fit into all this nonsense. Okay, so,
You asked, I delivered.
all right. Bye, 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 bye. And she looks at the people around her and sort of takes.
Oh. We're having an internet problem.
So according to the precedent of Oakbridge and Pulp Mill, original ownership shall here be defined as, and she flips the page over dramatically, whoever can, and she like looks at the other people like, please help me, whoever can establish earliest ownership by popular consensus. Yeah, popular consensus. Popular consensus.
And the goblins look at each other, and they look at you, and I'm gonna need you to roll a deception check.
I was wondering when that was gonna come.
Lying.
Behind Nor, can I like cross my beefy lady arms and just to like be an imposing figure?
Sure, and you know what?
Bailiff.
Because that's helping, I will let Nor roll with advantage on that deception check.
Oh shit. Well, thank God for advantage. Hey! Okay, 19.
Yeah, okay, so they make the math mean...
Thank God, because the first roll was a 2.
Oh, no. So they make the math meme face again,
Yes.
and they look at you, and they're... Okay. I mean, if that's the law...
It is.
Well, sir, of course, it's my responsibility as a cleric of a monitor to know the law, sir, and I would never misrepresent the law, sir.
Okay. So how do we determine the popular consensus? And the goblin is kind of like tripping over the words. They're a little too big for this goblin to fully comprehend what's happening.
But he's trying, and I support him. I want to give him a "You Tried" sticker. So, Nor, who cannot believe she's fucking getting away with this, says, well, you see, now that we have, and she counts the number of people who are standing around, which is how many?
5 plus if we include the tied up guy, that would be 11 in total.
Including our party?
Yeah.
Okay. She says, well, of course, now that I and my compatriots have arrived, my assistant, Zahar, will poll the kobolds for us to establish consensus. As it is my understanding that they do not they do not speak common. Do they speak common?
I didn't ask.
Okay, well, Zahar will confer with them, and the rest of us will keep speaking in common. Is that convenient for you, sir?
I guess so.
Of course.
Sahar is going to go to each and every kobold present and be like, "Hi, my name is Sahar, and I am here to poll you. Did your friend own this money before the goblins did?"
Yes. Each of them say, very confused by this turn of events. And I mean, like, they don't really know what to do with their daggers, so they just kind of like keep like holding them up and then putting them down, and then
It's okay. We're going to get the money back. Please stop pointing that at me. I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Okay, sorry.
How many
Okay.
of them are there?
There are 3 kobolds that are not tied up, and then the one that's tied up.
So I'm going to make that 4 votes. And I also vote for the kobolds. Hi. Yes, I'm racially biased.
I'm gonna pretend you said that in.
Oh no, you said that part in common.
Darn it!
Yeah,
I didn't understand.
Nor do we vote too?
Of course. I mean, as judge, it would be inappropriate for me to vote, but everyone else, yes, please. It's very important that we all partake in this very ancient and legitimate practice here in District 7.
The Lumber District.
Of course, the appropriate method in the Lumber District is usually a blind vote, but as we do not currently have access to paper because all of our lumber is exported,
Paper tossing.
we will have to defer to popular vote.
Well, I believe the kobolds.
I also vote in favor of the kobolds.
I will also vote for kobolds.
I don't have enough fingers on my dragon hands to finger show it, but that's 8, I think. Yeah, that's 8.
Well, and
for,
one of the
kobolds.
goblins also starts to raise their hand to vote for the kobolds, and the other goblin like slaps it down and shakes its head.
That's 9.
So Noor composes herself again and turns to the goblins and says, now, sir, is it correct that you are asserting original ownership of this money yourself, sir?
To the kobold that's tied up?
No,
Translate.
one of the goblin dudes.
One of the goblins?
Yeah.
No, we didn't have it originally. We took it, and now it's ours. Right?
Sir, do you concede that initially that the first person to have the money was this kobold, sir, here?
Yes?
You could affirm that statement for me, sir. Nora's trying to interject as many big words as possible into this conversation.
Yes? And the
Right,
goblin
well,
is like looking at the other goblin.
That simplifies things rather succinctly, sir, because I do believe that means we actually have, which is very impressive, sir. We actually have a unanimous understanding of the original ownership of said money, sir.
Okay.
That means you lost.
Oh.
Now, sir,
How?
I understand that it will be very inconvenient for you to have to fill out the associated paperwork. So, as a service to you, sir, I would like to invite you and your compatriots to leave. Sorry, paper pun. Leave.
Oh, okay.
You really
Money?
don't want to have to help me with all this paperwork, sir.
No, I'm not very good at paperwork.
I completely understand.
Do you wanna
Okay.
give their money? Maybe let him go and give the money back.
Tried to catch him.
Frankie, Nora turns around. As official bailiff, would you please collect the original agreed upon sum and return it to the original owner pursuant to subsection, and she like flips the pages again. Pursuant to the Birch Law of 1192.
I kind of lead in, so I'm just getting the money.
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
I hand Nor the knitting needles that I've had, and I assume that this whole ordeal has been happening with like half a knitted scarf around her neck.
Just been growing around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I hand them, or I place them on top of your open book and kind of
Thank
walk over to the goblins and go, I'm here to collect the money.
And the one goblin looks at the other goblin, and they're very confused by this whole thing, and they like slowly like reach down and they pull out a little bag and they look in it and they look at you.
Sir, please don't make me fill out an extra requisition form. You know how terrible these things can be.
Right, that's the law. And they just like hand the bag over.
I immediately like take it in my hands and like step back just in case they change their mind. And lean over to Nor. Now what?
Right. Well, unless there are other outstanding appeals or statements, I do believe that concludes our business for the day. Right? No objections?
Should we untie him?
That one.
Oh,
Right.
yes.
Of course. Sinesh, would you please assist our young compatriot here?
Yeah. And I go and I untie the kobold who was tied up.
I follow and kind of like hold out.
Do the kobolds speak common? Do they have any idea what's going on right now?
You have no idea.
No, we don't. We have no idea.
So, as you are untying the kobold, nobody notices, and the goblins, like, slip off into the forest. And as you are untying the one kobold, I think I said he before, he looks up at you and says, "Oh, thank you," in common.
You're welcome. We're happy to help.
I
My
really
friend
needed my
Frankie
money.
here is a bailiff.
You did a very good job. You are very smart.
I didn't realize you knew so much about the law.
Yeah,
Neither did I.
that was really great. You did an awesome job.
Yeah, Nora, that was amazing.
Far fewer
And I'm
words
still,
this
like-
time.
Awkwardly holding out the money to the kobold.
It like puts its hand out, and then like as soon as the money hits his palm, he like tucks it away really fast and like pats it.
Yeah, you got to keep that safe. Is your family going to be okay?
Oh yes. Now that we have the money, I can buy the food for the week.
Oh, good. We're happy to help.
Thank you so much.
The kind of the gravity of what has just passed is now like settling on Noor, and she kind of just makes this high-pitched, like uncomfortable noise, just sort of like.
Are you okay? Noor, are you okay?
Noor?
For those of you who cannot hear in the oral register of bat noises, Noor just said, "Did I just do a bad thing?"
No, you quoted the law.
I didn't really quote the law. I made that up.
No.
You did?
Well, I thought that money was theirs, and I thought it was the right thing, and I was really worried we were going to have to fight, and I don't want to fight anybody, and, oh dear.
Maybe given the circumstances, it might not have normally been the right thing, but this time I feel it probably was. Maybe.
I need to go talk to Monitar, and she just drops the book and the knitting needles and the scarf and just like power walks into the woods.
Frankie is like horrified that the scarf is now on the ground.
For like a little prayer sesh.
What if that wasn't the law here? What if we did something wrong?
Well, the kobolds can eat now, so I feel like, I mean, by the law, it might not have been right,
But like if goblins needed to eat too.
then they shouldn't have stolen. They should have asked for help.
Maybe we can,
As you
maybe we
look
can find a
around,
law book at the school.
as you look around, you notice the kobolds have now also vanished, and none of you remember seeing them go anywhere.
I'm like looking, like Sahara like turns over a large rock, like.
Yeah, is there any like tracks of where they left, or are they just
Go
gone?
ahead and make a survival check
Oh
for
no.
tracking.
Ooh.
I'm
I
gonna
will.
assume I'm in the woods and don't think to do this.
God damn it. Survival, you say?
Yeah,
That's a 10.
you see no tracks.
That is your
Okay.
best roll all night.
Shut up. No, I rolled an 18 at the very beginning. It's just been shit everything since. And I've switched dice 3 times now. It happens. Should we
Please support our channel so we can buy Sinesh uncursed dice.
get me better dice?
Yeah, we got 2 subscribers, which is really great, and we got some bits, and all of that will be going towards getting Sinesh some uncursed dice. That's the uncursed dice fund. Normally it would be the pizza fund, but this is a very serious
Yeah.
dice situation.
You have to get me holy ASMR dice. Dice that are good for ASMR.
The shiniest dice.
The shiniest dice. So Sinesh looks and goes, Should we go? Is Noor okay?
Should definitely wait for Noor. I don't know if we hit something else, if she hit something by herself, I don't know if she'd be able to handle it at this rate.
Noor? You okay? She calls into the woods.
DM, do you want to have a prayer interaction, or do you just want her to come back and have the lights come back up?
It's up to you. If you want to role play your prayer, you absolutely can, or if you just want to say that you've gone and done it, that's fine too.
All right, so I think Noor kind of just goes far enough into the woods that she can't easily see everyone anymore, and she just sits on the ground. And for a couple of minutes, she just makes that high-pitched, like, noise. I did not realize when I created this character how anxious she was, but wow, she is really there. She is really 16. And eventually she sort of starts playing with like the grass and like looking at the dirt and stuff. And eventually she looks up at the sky because to her, a Monitor is like a sun and light god. So she looks up to the sky and she says, Father Monitor, would you send me a sign that I did the right? And then she just sits in the quiet for a couple of minutes, and then I would say it is up to you if something happens before she hears Sinesh calling her back.
Yeah, you sit there and you wait, and normally when you have prayed before, you always get an overwhelming sense of calm. Sort of to this point, no matter what you've done, praying has been really grounding for you. And it's not this time. You don't feel your anxiety ease, and you are so anxious and so upset that your fingers are like digging into the earth around you.
Mormon hell dream.
And and you're waiting for that peace to come, and you're waiting for that peace to come, and you don't feel it. But slowly you feel like your hands are starting to relax as they're touching the earth. And the more you sort of touch the ground with your body, the more relaxed you start to feel.
And that's probably about the time when you hear, Nor,
Yeah.
are you okay?
And she is very startled, and she pulls her hands off the ground almost as though she's been touching something really hot and didn't realize it, and she takes her hands back, and she stands up and she says, coming! Sinesh? Coming, Sinesh! And turns around and sort of smooths her robes as much as she can from having just sat on the ground and had a panic attack, and sort of slowly tries to come back out into the, not like clearing, but at where everyone else is, and just sort of takes a couple of deep breaths and says, how much farther to the castle?
How much farther does it look?
You're fairly close now. You're about 2/3 of the way through the day. You got maybe another couple hours walk up to the castle. It's getting very large ahead of you.
Okay.
Not too much longer. Are you okay? Do you need a drink of water?
Sure. That would be good.
I go into my pack and I take out a water skin.
So I guess Nora just like has a little sip of water, just like screws the top back on and like hands it back. And then she she sort of collects her book from where she dropped it. And she turns to Frankie and says, I'm real sorry about it was so nice and I dropped it, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's just a little bit of dirt. Nothing I can't brush off, I guess. Like she says, like with like not a forced smile, but like she just kind of shakes it a bit, so some like leaves and dirt falls off. See, it'll be fine.
It's looking really pretty so far.
Thanks. Could I keep working on it with you, Nor?
Of course, that would be very nice.
And so like I just kind of like wrap it just around her several times.
While she was gone, it has increased in length. And Nora says, Frankie, do you think this one is magical too?
I mean, it's hard to tell. I'm not very magical, but it'll keep you warm, and that's kind of its own sort of magic.
Yeah.
All the feels!
Not a true gay stream without feels.
Or
That's
a
our
teenage
first-
stream, let's be honest.
That is the first gay. of the campaign.
That is the first episode of Degrassi.
All right, so you have your little chat. You know, the scarf is back on Nor. Frankie's knitting away. You start your final ascent up the mountain. It goes more quickly than you would expect. Thankfully, there are no goats. There are no more interracial negotiations to deal with. And you arrive, the castle's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you finally kind of like come out of the forest into a clearing, and you see this huge gate on this castle. It has 4 big towers. It has a variety of rainbow-colored flags, like each flag is a different color of the rainbow, because yeah, it is. And you see actually a ton of students. Very strange, because you saw no one else on this path, sort of filing into these main gates of this huge, like, light gray sort of castle.
Are the students all different races?
Yes, yeah.
That is the new coolest shit Sinesh has ever seen. Like, that supplants the beautiful view as the coolest shit ever.
Aww.
She doesn't get out much.
This is more people in one place than Nor has probably ever seen in one place. So she's feeling very overwhelmed again, and is just sort of trying to retreat back into herself and be very quiet. And now it seems like there is not an immediate danger that maybe people can go back to not paying attention to her. That would be great.
Sahar's just kind of like looking around and like a little sadly, but for the most part, just kind of like, that's a lot of people.
Look at all these people.
How are you feeling, Nimble?
Yeah, hey, Nimble.
Nimble's eyes widen and there's sparkles and like I don't know if you know my cat at least. When she's really interested in something, her whiskers kind of forward. So all their whiskers are coming forward. Like they're all moving, like they're taking in all the different scents and sounds, and their ears are going wild. Like they're very intrigued and like, because they didn't know this was here. They've never been to a school before. Like, there are people.
I imagine their pupils are just like enormous. Also, when kitties are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, you're standing outside the gates. Are you going to follow everyone in?
Yeah.
Frankie kind of waits until someone else goes.
Sinesh will start to go and then stop and turn and check on Nor. Like, are you okay? You gonna come in with us? Stay if you want.
Nora doesn't say anything, but she sort of nods a little bit and adjusts the strap of her bag a little bit self-consciously and just like follows the folks.
Yeah, we can all stick together if we want.
Sahar looks fully taken aback by this proposition. Like,
I would like that.
Nimble is already like starting to go, and like every so often we'll turn back and see if anyone's following, and then like run a little bit, and like
okay. Sinesh is following in between, like making sure that Nimble doesn't get too far ahead, and making sure the other 3 don't get too far behind. Let's go.
I imagine it's like this weird like boop boop.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
All right,
Meanwhile, everyone else is just like screaming.
Yeah, it takes you an hour to get into the castle.
Oh no.
Ken and Gaze.
You arrive in, you walk through these big gates, and you see you've entered into a large courtyard, and there's probably 300 students gathered in there. And right in the center of the courtyard is a huge brass statue of a Goliath woman. And there's also signage that says, Gromany Academy of Adventures and welcome new students. And a little stage is set up towards the other end of the courtyard, and a small, elderly, gnomish man, dressed very well but with a bit of a wild look, gets up and picks up this rock and speaks into it, and it amplifies his voice. And he says,
That's a cool rock.
That's what he says.
Welcome.
He says that's a cool rock.
he
Check
says,
out this awesome rock.
welcome, students, to Gromany Academy of Adventurers. And that is where we're going to end for tonight.
Woo!
So thank you, everyone. Thank you to the players for playing. And thank you to our amazing viewers in the chat and the people who supported us with bits and subs and all that kind of stuff. You can also leave tips in our tip jar if that's a thing, if you don't want to subscribe. If you just scroll down on the video, we have a tip jar. You can leave however much you want. And make sure that you tune in next week. We're going to be here every Wednesday for 2 hours, 8 to 10. Same time, same place, same gay.
Yeah.
So thanks again. We had so much fun interacting with you and playing, and we will see everyone next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.